Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to go over the uranium technical analysis update, our daily technical analysis update. And we're going to dive right in. I'll give you my financial opinion. Please don't use this as advice. And here we go. So this is the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. We are bouncing sideways. Now, could we do something like this? Maybe. But I think we have a break there and then a continuation move. Will this break up? Will this break lower? We'll find out. The overall market was down today, and it seems like the overall market's kind of want to drag this thing lower, almost like this trades kind of like a tech stock, so long that the physical price remains flat. So we've been moving on sideways for Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. North Shore Global Uranium Mining was basically a flat day. We're within this pattern, moving sideways again. Does it look good? Not really. Does it look bad? Not really. I'm kind of indifferent. We had a very nice pop higher here. This was a very nice pop, and then we've just been leaking off sellers, which is good. We may hit, get back to a level that's, somewhere in this box or somewhere in this box here, back down in here before moving higher. Bannerman, taking it on the chin today, down a little bit, down 10%. We are coming on back. Now, this could be a pattern almost where we're about getting close to be done with it. We could even come back almost all the way, if I could draw, maybe even come back to like 10 cents or something like that. It's possible on a kind of kind of at a C corrective phase in a Elliott wave type formation. If we were to take a fib retracement of this guy here, right here is about a 0.786 retracement. If I were to bring this to about the bottom there, it looks like we're making a run for the full retracement. Is it possible? It's possible. But we were resting on the 0.786 retracement level. So we could be dashing down to that line that I drew in there, roughly. Goviax, this guy's sitting on a support line. We've got a nice good wick on the bottom. So the sellers came in, they bought it back up, the buyers, and the momentum's heading to the upside, even though we had a down day, known as a hammer pattern. We'll see where this thing heads. It's right on long-term support. Global Atomic putting in a bullish engulfing pattern. Usually they've resolved themselves upward. The overall markets have been quite weak, so this is actually showing very good strength in the face of that weakness and in the face of the overall sector weakness. Forces Metals, small down day today, down 1.76%, FOSYF. It's a company out in Namibia, Africa. We've been bopping sideways here, just moving sideways at the moment, and we did break out below this support line here. So we could see further downside if the sellers want to push this lower. We could even come back and test more down towards the 30-cent level if things got out of control and the markets really started to sell off. This could be a full retracement of that if it were to get out of control. Pierpoint Uranium Group. Let me hit the 1 year here. We're zoomed out. We're right at the support level, just bouncing back and forth. Small little update today for Pierpoint Uranium. Deep Yellow, DY, LLF. Again, we have a nice hammer pattern. It got sold off. Buyers came in and bought it back up. We're at 53 cents. Momentum's heading to the upside. Same with Paladin Energy. We're right on support. Tried selling below that support line and got bought back up. Little hammer pattern. Gap down hammer pattern. Sky Harbor, SYHBF. It's a exploration company up in Canada. We have a small little down day. We're right at the tip here, coiling up for a move very soon. This is the long-term support line, and we're playing with that long-term support. We could see a break lower. It is possible. Next Gen Energy. This is a bullish piercing type pattern. where we came up, hit our head on the resistance, came back, and now we're getting a little bit of buying pressure in the very short term. The chart doesn't look all that great since we're below the support resistance line. CVVUF, again, we've been just chopping sideways with this guy. What we want to do is we're trying to break this big resistance line that's right above us, right above our head. We're trying to break this big guy there, and we haven't been able to do it yet. This is baseload energy, BSENF. We're kind of consolidating here, coiling up right here, coming to a point, and we've got good support down here. You could probably throw another, support line like that, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see if it breaks to the downside or if we go to the upside. Fission 3.0 looks like it's wanting to break to the downside a little bit. We have a little wick on the bottom. Buyers bought it up a little bit, but we're right at long-term support, and it looks like we want to break almost below it. There's our long-term support on a monthly candlestick basis that we're breaking to the downside through that support. Fission Uranium. This is a rising wedge that we're in. We've been moving sideways, a leak off of the sellers. We've got big buying pressure, small leak off of sellers. I've just been moving sideways. Camco, CCJ, one of the big dogs in the uranium space up in Canada. It's right at long-term support here. That looks like we're trying to break to the downside. But we've broken this big old wedge to the upside, and we've had a pretty good run. So we might get a little bit of a pullback before moving on higher. Very possible. Kazatomprom, another large uranium company, and we are bouncing around. We had some good support here last time. We'll see if this support holds as it comes back down. Peninsula Energy, PenMF. Just been bopping sideways in this channel. And we've got good support right underneath it. A little ways underneath it. We've got Boss Energy, BQSSF. It's right at support. Good strong support there. LTSR, Lotus Resources, another company. It's been bopping sideways. I'm going to flatten this guy out and bring it down here. There's a little bit of support down here. Not too strong. And then usually they pop higher from here. This pattern looks exactly the same as ATRWS or ATRWF that I just recently purchased, and I bought it when it like fell down and then it did a slingshot higher. Very similar pattern. UROY, me Roy, you Roy, we're all Roy. We ain't no Roy. I don't know, something like that. But UROY's a uranium royalty company. This is a bullish engulfing. Usually they resolve themselves higher. That looks actually stronger. There's a bullish engulfing. This pattern here's a bullish engulfing. This pattern here's a bullish engulfing. So they're throwing bullish engulfings. Encore Energy, ENCUF, one of my favorite American companies. Bill Sheriff's the CEO. Again, a little bit of support where it's at, a little bit of wicks at the bottom. There's good buying pressure down in this section here. Hopefully it holds. UU. It's a little bit of buying pressure, not much, but we're coming to support. There's some buying, support's right underneath it here. We've got URG. Looks like it's doing the same thing as the rest. A little bit of buying pressure, bullish, piercing almost pattern. UEC looking a lot more bullish with a bullish engulfing pattern. That usually resolves itself higher. But the overall uranium sector is not doesn't look too bueno. We got LEU. This guy looks like it's selling off. Some of the retail investors are probably selling out of here a little bit afraid. LTBR moving sideways, getting a little bit of sell-off. This is a pattern to the upside here, which breaks to the downside and relieves, so we're probably coming back to this support level down here. ISENF, ISO Energy. It's a Canadian exploration company. We got the small little down days coming right back to support. We've got Appia Energy moving sideways, a little bit of an up day. If I were to throw kind of almost like a pattern here, we've got that downtrend line that's coming. And then if I can find another one, I mean, I can see one going across here. Is there another one that's coming through this way? There, almost like a kind of a wedge that's forming potentially. And we'll see what happens there and how this develops. DNN, Denison Mines. This guy, yeah, so it's only 2 hits, 3 hits. I mean, you could draw a line through here, but that's not going to be too bullish. That's for sure. I can delete it. There we go. That thing out of there. This is a bullish engulfing. Usually they resolve themselves to the upside. We're getting a little bit more buying pressure down here. It's holding quite strong. Blue Sky Uranium, BKUCF, just chopping sideways. Good buying pressure down in this area down there that I've got highlighted. Forum Energy Metals, FDCFF. This is a small exploration company up in Canada. It's been just bopping sideways the entire time, guys. Doesn't look bad, doesn't look good. It's just moving sideways. AEC, Anfield Energy, moving sideways right at support. Laramide, LMRXF. Hey, it looks like it wants to go higher here. It's coming up to support. This is a bullish piercing pattern. Usually they resolve themselves upward. Western Uranium, WSTRF. I don't own any in WSTRF, but this thing's been just moving sideways. It looks like the downward momentum is dissipating and we're just moving sideways. So this is prime for a move higher if the buyers step in here and start buying. UEX Corp just moving sideways, kind of a bullish or bearish engulfing pattern there. Good support down here, so we'll see what happens there. It's kind of buyers, sellers right at this support resistance level that we're fighting. MGAFF is a bullish piercing pattern where we could head higher. It seems like we've always gotten good support down here, so we'll see if that support holds. This support's all kind of through this section here, and they're battling the sellers that are all up here. So they try to hit, hit their head, and they're going back and forth between these two areas. So that's what I see for Mega Uranium. Where are we going, guys? Good question. We're bouncing all over the place. It's a mixed bag. That's what I see. Some companies throwing bullish engulfings. Other companies look kind of bearish. Which way are we going to go? I don't know. I think the market's confused on which way we're going to go. That's what it looks like to me. If the overall markets, I think we got the overall markets dragging and pulling this to the downside because we were down in the overall markets in terms of NASDAQ and the S&P 500. But the commodity sector is up. So it's getting pulled in both directions as uranium is a commodity, but at the same time, it trades very much like the overall stock market. So what I do in these types of scenarios, I don't do anything. I just hold on to my shares. And if you guys want to buy more in something, some of these don't look like they're bad entry points to sprinkle in a little bit. Which ones? Maybe like a UEC or a UROY or URG. Some of those American ones, they're putting in good patterns and they're quite low. I mean, it's up to you on what you want to do. Again, this is just my opinion and things that I would do. I can't give you anybody advice. Can't do that. But, you know, and a DNN doesn't look too bad either with that bullish engulfing. So those are the ones that I would look at if it were me. If you guys like the analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.